To my team of 144, all Starseeds, Lightworkers, and Wayshores. Today is 523-2019. The crows just came to my window. I woke up today to the pouring rain. A lot of water's coming in. A friend of mine told me a couple days ago that Lake Erie, one of the Great Lakes here, it's at one of the highest levels they've ever recorded. So Lake Erie's one of the most shallow lakes, but the waters are rising. So we've been getting a ton of rain this year. And with these divine holy fires coming in, rising up, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, as the kundalinis, the fires rising up the spine, up the central channel, up the vortex. It's like Jacob's ladder, rising up the DNA. As it rises up, it's upgrading the DNA. Some people call it the mutation, or a quantum leap of evolution from Homo sapien to Homo luminous. And with these divine fires that are coming in, with it are the divine holy waters. So the holy water, the holy fire, all of these are coming into manifestation. The fire and waters are coming into balance for the first time in probably all history. The Kan and the Li, Kan water, Li fire, or the yin yang, yin being water, feminine, yang, the masculine fire. So yesterday, massive waves came in again, the plasma waves. And for the next few days, 23, 24, 25, the sun is going to be transmitting these energies, these massive waves of rainbow energies, the rainbow lights. Last night, driving home around sunset, I think it was around a little after 8, the golden light, it was intense gold. It's like, and the clouds were so surreal. Looked like rapture was coming in. And I thought, here we go. Is this the event, the final event? We're going through the event wave, so I know we say the event, but these are all building up, building, these waves, these energies that are manifesting into the collective. And I apologize for the recordings. I know some people said, can I turn up the mic? But this is on my phone. Hopefully I'll get my new mic today so that the sound will not be as mediocre. I'm doing the best I can. I know yesterday several electronic devices went kaplooey on me. So hopefully we can keep making these without too many problems. You know, we're grounding deep into the heart, deep into Gaia, deep into the unconscious, the unknowable, the unknown, through the void. So that's the only reason we can even still use these electronic devices, because of our deep grounding in the 3D. In 5D, there'll be no need for electronic devices. We can manifest with the mind and connect mind to mind, which we can do that now, but it'll be at a higher level, at a deeper level. The higher you go, the deeper you go, the deeper into the void, the higher into the bliss, the heavens, as on earth as it is in heaven. So the deeper we go, the more still we become, the more we manifest into these realms. Now last night, after that sunset, it was just the most beautiful clouds and symbols in the sky, and these vibrant pastel colors, the violets and the blues and the pinks. All the rays were coming in, the waves, and I know many of us felt it. I'm sure all starseeds went into a deep, deep state. I know about around 11:11 last night, I went deep into the unconscious, into the unknowable, where I became unmovable like a mountain. I couldn't move for, I thought, oh, I'll just close my eyes for a minute and then make the recording of the day. Well, about 3 hours went by in this unmovable state, and I woke up around, or came to, I should say, came back to this realm about 2:22. I couldn't even barely open my eyes. I couldn't record the video of the day. I usually do it at night when all is still, when all is quiet, so I had to do it this morning. It is 9:11 a.m., 9:11. So I just responded to one email and then could barely keep my eyes open, could barely see, everything was blurred, so I retired for the night, and then this morning woke up to the pouring rain and the intense expansion of the crystal palace in the brain, the upper dantian was expanding. Many of us feel it like as a pressure in the skull, as the still center of the brain, the crystal palace expands. It could put pressure on the skull. They say, like in some of the Tibetan traditions, the spiritual practices, that the sutures can separate and it'll be like a peak on the top of the crown will rise up, and some will manifest like a fluid out the crown. It's like a dew, like a sweet dew that's from the pineal gland. That's the fluids from the pineal and the pituitary. The pineal and the pituitary work together. Those were sacred glands in the Egyptian traditions, and they pulse at certain frequencies. Sometimes one will be at a greater frequency than the other, but once we balance the energies, the fire and the water, they pulse together in harmony, synchronized as the divine feminine, the divine masculine, emanate in a balanced manner. And that's when we see with the true eyes of the spirit. And we manifest from the heart. So yesterday, I actually had to take a couple notes here, because as these energies come in and we transition from linear time to more vertical time, or what I call spatial time, being fully present, it's more difficult to keep a linear consciousness. We become more spatial, and it's basically going with the flow, or being in that still center, manifesting out into this realm. So as I saw these pastels coming in to the field, the vibrancy of it made me think that it was like a lucid dream. I did a lot of lucid dreamings in the past, and lucid dreaming practices. And once you become lucid in the dream, it's very intense. It's probably one of the most powerful energies that can be experienced. In Carlos Castaneda's books with Don Juan Matu, there were two forms of practice, spiritual practices. One was dreaming, the other was stalking, which was stalking energy, not like stalking another human, but it was he would call it stalking energy, where you would gather energy, conserve energy to be able to do the metaphysical spiritual practices, and to be able to do dreaming. There is different gates of dreaming. The first gate is being aware that you are dreaming and bringing your waking consciousness, or this 3D consciousness, into the dream world. And the technique he would use, which I used to be able to achieve it, and it took me many months. I did it back in the mid-90s. And what you do throughout the day, you look at your hands and you ask yourself, am I dreaming? is this a dream? And you look at the palms of your hands. And then before you go to bed, you program yourself with basically a mantra that says, when I look at my hands, I know I am dreaming. And you repeat that over and over until you fall asleep. You know, when I look at my hands, I know that I'm dreaming. So when you're in a dream, in the dream state, there will be a moment where you question, like during the day when you look at your hands, am I dreaming? That thought will come up and you say, am I dreaming? And then if it's programmed deep enough in your subconscious, you'll look at your hands in the dream and then you will become lucid. And in that moment, you'll think, how did I not know this was a dream? Because everything becomes so vivid, so pure, and so clear that every single thing in your dream, a pebble, a tree, a stone, will become like the most magnificent thing you've ever seen, and you will go into that. And as you start shifting out of that lucidness, depending on how much energy you stored or how much practice you've done, it could be qigong or stalking the energy, and he had many different ways of doing that, and a lot of them was taking on roles. And there's many stories in the books about how they did that, and how the Nawal would almost mess with the student, mess with the apprentice to get them to shift their awareness from their ordinary, programmed, mundane, repetitive routines. They would break routines by taking on certain different roles. And that would gather energy to help with the dreaming practices and the energy practices. And a lot of times they would use psychedelics to shift the awareness. But even Don Juan said they're not necessary, but depending on how programmed, how deep the programming. And Carlos was very scholarly and not very open to the unknown, not open to the energetic practices. So Don Juan had many times that he would push his energy body. They call the assemblage point, where the luminous sphere, the shamans will see the human avatar is a luminous sphere, and on that sphere, it's like on the back of the sphere, between like your shoulders, there's a spot called the assemblage point, where all these fibers, these luminous fibers, come together, and that's what holds our reality together. And shamans can shift that point on the apprentice to shift to a different reality, and that's basically shifting to a different timeline, which is happening now. Our assemblage points moving around as these energies are shifting, and it's happening at a more accelerated rate. Our assemblage point can one moment be at one point in the field, or the sphere, the luminous, it's like a luminous egg, they see it. When you look through the eyes of your spirit, it's kind of like the aura, but they see these many like luminous threads, or that form up this egg, and they meet at that point, and they have a way with their energy body to shift that. So as I was thinking of the lucid dreaming, and how this world is becoming more evident that it's a dream, that it's not real, because these energies that are coming in are making things more vivid, more clear, more vibrant. It shows that it's not what we think it was. The matrix is not what we thought it was. Just like in a dream, when you become lucid and bring your higher consciousness, because that's deeper into the subconscious, the unconscious, in the dream world. Our waking consciousness will see that realm as very extravagant and dreamlike. Like sometimes you wake up and you're like, that was the most intense thing. Well, it's 1,000 times more intense than you even remember. But once you bring the 3D waking consciousness into that dream world, that's when you realize it. So I read this years ago about that a Messiah like a Yeshua Christos character, is really God having a lucid dream, meaning that the God self, the highest self, realizes in this 3D waking world that it is merely a dream. And that's when the awakening happens. That's when you bring your highest self, or the original mind, the unborn mind, into this realm to experience it as it is, as a dream, which is happening naturally through this shift, through the event, through this new earth manifestation. And generally, and the collective is starting to experience it, and they don't know what to do with it. Many of it, if they don't have the understanding or the knowledge, and that's why many Starseeds, Lightworkers, are putting out videos like this to help all Lightworkers and Starseeds, obviously, but also for the collective, as they stumble upon these videos in the dream state, they will start resonating and realizing that this is their experience in their lifetime, was a simulation, is a simulation. It's a manifestation of the Tao. It's a manifestation of God, truth, Buddha, whatever name you want to give to the great mystery. It doesn't matter the name you give, as long as you realize it's beyond all concepts, and the great mystery, it's beyond all things, beyond the mind, beyond consciousness, unknowable, but experiential. So that's what the Zen master says. You can't even talk about Buddha. They would say, if you see the Buddha on the road, kill him. And they didn't literally mean kill somebody, but if you see, taste, touch, or feel it, it's not the Buddha. It's a manifestation of the Buddha. Or you could use the Tao. It's not the Tao. It's a manifestation. It's a resonance. It's a frequency that emanates from the void, from the still point, from the 0 point, out into the field. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's not good, bad. It's neutral. But that energy is converted for the right things and the wrong things. But we are here to transcend picking and choosing, transcending good and bad, transcending right and wrong, and as we manifest from that still point, which is love and truth. So you cannot debate love or truth. Truth is truth and love is love. There is no duality within that. Barry Long wrote a book called Only Fear Dies, because fear is part of the manifestation. Negativity is part of the manifestation. Hate, all these words that we term, evil, bad, negative, false. That's the part of the matrix. That's not reality. It's not real. But we make it real with our mind, and then it causes suffering. So basically, our thoughts are the cause of suffering. Our mind that's not used in the proper way causes suffering. And suffering and pain are different. The nervous system feels pain, but you don't need to suffer because of pain. Suffering is the venom that flows through the veins after the snake bite. The guru once said that everything is in perfect harmony, just sometimes the mind gets in the way. When you let go of the mind, when you stop the internal dialogue, that's what Don Juan would call the thoughts that create our reality. When you turn that off, when you go and he wrote a book, or Carlos wrote a book about the teachings. One of them, I think there were 9 books. One was called The Power of Silence. He said that silence, that stillness, it's the desert, the feminine, the void, the still center, magnetic center, has the greatest power, unlimited, infinite power, infinite light, infinite life. And it's the center of your being. And we're learning to tap into that center to then be able to be co-creators with the great mystery, with the unknowable source. And that's the most beautiful thing. And yesterday, one last thing, and then I'll read a couple transmissions here. At 1:44 yesterday, I happened to be checking or working on my YouTube channel, and the video from 2 days ago, Phoenix Resurrection. There's been many synchronicities with the Phoenix. But at 1:44, it had 1,400 views. And then I checked it again. It was at 3:13, 3:13. It had 1,444 views. So these synchronicities are just constantly coming into the field. Also, I met with my brother, one of my brothers, for lunch yesterday, and we were talking about these intense waves. He's going through a massive shift, and he had a massive, intense Mandela effect, which caused him to feel off or awkward. So I explained to him about these Ascension energies. You know, he hasn't trained with any masters or in any consistent spiritual practices, so I try to help him navigate this unknown, these event energies. We talk about the new earth. I try to talk with everyone in my family about these things, and every one of them are open to it, because they realize that this is a dream, that and they're going through massive shifts within their own stories. So he talked about a couple days ago, he was in his basement, and there was a box that he never saw, and said, he asked his wife, where did this come from? I don't know, I've never seen the box. And so he opened it up, and it was an object, a product or whatnot, that he had sold on eBay like 6 months ago, and there was no label on it, there was nothing, and he even had a picture from when he sold it, and he thought, you know, that was very strange. It just appeared in his basement, and none of his kids knew where the box came from, and he hadn't seen it in the past. Here he is. Yes? Tell him all about it. That was Deity had to give his quick transmission of the day. Thank you, Deity Kitty. He is an angel. His purr has healed many in this realm. So now on to the transmissions today from Dea Cosmic Blu-ray. Greetings, dear Star Ones. With love, we come to share this update. New assignments for new awakened starseeds on the way. After Galactic conferences bringing updates to all star families. Elders in Venus remembered in completion, awaiting for new mission on the new Aquiline grid. New group gathering requested. Energy is speeding up, and so is time. In oneness with love and grace, Dea Cosmic Blu-ray. I fly to the stars to greet you on the mothership. Also, one thing I just remembered, you know, as these energies are coming in, memories start popping up, that it's coming through the field, through the still center, about that our higher bodies, our higher selves, are ships. They are spaceships. Very long we call our avatars space suits, but the suits are a ship. There was a song, I was at a bonfire the other day, and this one kid from the country was playing some country tunes through his phone and this Bluetooth device, and the fires were rising up. There was a massive bonfire, and all these energies were coming up, and these red sparkles, just thousands of them coming out of the fire from things burning, were lifting up into the skies. It was very surreal. And then the song came on, which was in his playlist, which I thought was it was a song we used to jam out in the late 70s and 80s. And it sparked some memories that were suppressed or forgotten. And it was like, ride, Captain, ride upon your mistress ship. Right? Mm-hmm. See, the kitty agrees. He's saying, ride, Captain, ride upon your mistress ship. And your mistress ship is your spacesuit. You are a ship. You are one with the mothership. This is one of the... Yes. He had one last transmission, maybe more coming from him, but he is agreeing that you are one with the ship. It's not a separate thing. These avatars that we are in, these vessels, the Starseed, these are seed ships that emanate out from the mothership, which is your higher self, your higher body self, and one with the Nawal, with the unknown. So we're in these ships. We are the ships, these plasma ships, these luminous spheres. They're like the seeds from the sun, the star seeds. That's where trying to make these words as, yes, angel. Many birds are outside the window now as the Wing Nation joins with the Lyran Nation. All nations are coming together to witness and take part in this great ascension through many ships, through the air ships, the wing ships, the Wing Nation, the Wing Makers, the Star Makers, the Star Nations, the motherships, the fatherships, Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, Holy Spirit, Holy Fire, Holy Water. They're all coming in now. As we ground deep, you feel it now in your avatar, in your body. As the energies are, you feel them in your skin suit. In the cells and the atoms, you feel the vibration, you might get the tingles, the chills. You feel the love, the bliss. It's coming up now. It's coming up. Tell them, honeys. He touched his pink nose to the phone as I'm recording to transmit his love and light and truth from the Lyran Nation, from the Pleiadians, from the Andromedans, the Blue People, the Krishnas, the Christ consciousness. It's all coming in now. You have this, brothers and sisters of the light. Feel it in your heart center. Let it flow through you. Let it flow out of you. As we release the old, as we manifest the new earth. I must run for now. That will be all for today, because the energies we are grounding them now into the heart center, into that still center, as we lift up, as we transmit. So leave a comment below this. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Let us know what you experienced yesterday and today, or the last few days, depending on when you're listening to this video, to this transmission. Let us know how you're feeling, what you're seeing, what you're experiencing. This helps all Lightworkers and Starseeds to see that these synchronicities, to see that they are not in this alone, that we are all in this together. We're all experiencing these energies, these things, and I know it's very intense. We are almost through. We are in Operation Breakthrough. It is all becoming very clear now. As the veil is lifting, the veil is thinning. So these may be the most challenging times for some. Some have already broke through the veil. Some are here just to assist. Some are here to uplift. Many have come for this mission, for this ascension. Billions of starseeds are here now to help with this transition. So keep shining your light brightly into the night. Thank you all for all you do. I love you all. Namaste.